Welcome, crypto fam, and happy first of the month. Get up, get up. Come on, fam. I'm going to be sharing the latest technical analysis for you, as we always do. Also be discussing the latest from Plan B regarding the monthly close for September. We finally had a bullish September. It's about time. I'm also going to be sharing the latest from High Priest Bitcoin Max Kaiser, discussing everything goes to zero against Bitcoin. It's a mathematical certainty after all. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin curious Michael Dell, 14th richest man on the planet, sells 1.2 billion worth of Dell stock. Could he be inloading some biddies? We'll be discussing this. We'll also be discussing the latest with Donald Trump and his project, in which Max Kaiser says it's a total shit show and to avoid. Donald, don't send any of your ish coins to El Salvador. We'll also be discussing Metaplanet making another Bitcoin acquisition worth $6.9 million. I'm also going to be discussing Bitcoin skyrocketing to $118,000 by before the end of this year here in Q4, as well as a Quantile regression Bitcoin price model hinting at $275,000 Bitcoin. I'll be breaking down the timeline. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, yo, in today's show. Let's kick it off. If you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes. Then go ahead and subscribe to #1 Daily Bitcoin Pod and hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications. Today is pod episode 1774. I'm your host, JV. Happy October 1st. Fourth quarter is finally here. We've been patiently awaiting for some Bitcoin to explode on. And now is time, game time, as Bitcoin's currently pulling back in the market, ironically. But we're currently above 62 Gs. Let's see where we go from here. Let's kick it off with our market watch. You can see the bulk of the market correcting and in the red. Solana down over 5%. AVAX down 7%. Cardano down 5.5%. Ether corrected 4%. And BTC down 2.5%. Checking out coinmarketcap.com. Current crypto market cap sits at $2.2 trillion. The Bitcoin market cap is at 1.22 trillion. We were at 1.3 trillion a couple of days ago before the pullback. And checking out the dominance, let's see. We got 56.1% Bitcoin Dom and Ether dominance back at 13.9%. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. Ironic when you got a scam token FTT leading the pack, up 10% on the day, trading at $2.16. You got Egen up 1%. As you can see, very modest gains as the majority of the market is correcting and in the red. Which alts, if any, are you bullish on for the bull? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles, we get a visual perspective. Let's start on the day. Here's what the survey says. We have, let's see here. It's kind of like mixed. I'd say 50-50 for the daily. And checking out the monthly, maybe 95% of the market crushing it for the past month. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index today, we're back neutral in the middle. Yesterday was greed. Last week was mostly greed. And last month at 26 in fear. And checking out the time chain calendar, we got 186,346 blocks yet to go until the next halving, April 2028. And we're currently on block 863,654. And you can currently get 1,608 Satoshis per US dollar. So take advantage of that and stack sats accordingly. But anyways, let's continue with the technical analysis, aka astrology for the broskies. Headline here reads, Bitcoin all-time high target remains as Bitcoin price bounces back. And Plan B shared, Bitcoin September close was 63,300, the 8th month in the 60 to 70,000 trading range. 8 consecutive months. I think that's just all the more bullish in my opinion. And checking out, as shared here, Bitcoin had the best ever price performance in September. The most bullish price performance we've ever had. Pretty wild. And Max shares everything goes to zero against Bitcoin, all fiat to absolute zero, all the shit coins to effectively absolute zero. Gold and silver get demonetized by Bitcoin and trade effectively at zero. Against Bitcoin, this is a mathematical certainty. Preach, high priest. But yeah, let's dive a little deeper here. Here you're looking at the 1 hour chart. Bitcoin retargeted 64,000 here on October 1st after the Bitcoin price monthly close set a new September record. Can we now officially coin it September? And TradingView showed Bitcoin rebound rebounding after the brief trip below the 63,000 level. The September monthly close sealed Bitcoin price gains of 7.3% per data from CoinGlass. Not too shabby. Now I'm anticipating this 88% run-up, which history has shown us in the Q4. Now, while failing to flip 65 Gs to support after hitting it last week, nonetheless, the bulls retained a key mid-trend line in the form of the 21-week simple moving average. And according to Keith Allen, co-founder of Material Indicators, doing so was the key to avoid opening the door to the retests of the range lows. Now, losing the 200-day moving average is not a good sign, but holding the 200-week moving average for now is. Losing them both would be a sign of weakness. And we also have Dan Crypto Trades, who eyed the changing order book liquidity, this stacking at 62.7 and 67 Gs, marking support and resistance levels respectively. Quoting them here, testing the daily 200 moving average after breaking above it yet another time. So far this year, it has struggled to hold on to that level. Whether the Bitcoin trades above or below is good mid-high time frame momentum and strength indicator. And on the lower time frames, fellow trader Roman was amongst those confident of the upside continuation next. Quoting the analyst here, some nice bull divergence now forming on the 4-hour, referring to the bullish divergence between the price and the relative strength index known as the RSI, which is another indicator we commonly use here. He also shared expecting some upward movement and chop, which will hopefully give us upwards consolidation instead of our one-day deviation. That's the forecast from Roman. Others suggest buying the dip, BTFD, as a suitable short-term strategy despite progress so far fading beyond 65,000. Quoting Scott Melker, Bitcoin officially made a higher high by closing above 65,000 on the weekly as well. Now we look for dips to buy as it potentially establishes another higher low. Altcoins largely look the same, backtesting their own key breakout resistances as support. And we also have an analyst, Mikhail Van de Pop, who doubled down on his plan for the new Bitcoin all-time high to come. Quoting him here, took the liquidity above the recent highs and is coming back down. I think we're in a new uptrend, which means that the dips are for buying. In that sense, if we get a retest to 60,500 to 61.3, I am interested before we test the all-time high. So there you go. All-time highs in play. And checking out some of the live charts, let's start with the 1 hour and then we'll work our way out. This is live and in the flesh via TradingView, via Coinbase Exchange. Let me clean it up for you. You should be able to see clearly. Unfortunately, on the hourly chart, we have 3, 4, 5 consecutive red candles all going downwards. That's not a good look right there. Prior to that, things were looking pretty. And zooming out from here, we'll check out the 4 hour. Let's see how we're looking. And let's smell what the rock is cooking. We do have the target in the blue sitting all the way at 81.3, which would take us to new all-time highs, adjusted for inflation. Bring it. There's no particular downside target on the 4 hour, but as you can see, we got 2 red candles, with the most recent one being a big one, as we're currently correcting right now live and in the flesh. And checking out the 1-day chart, you can see we had 3 consecutive daily red candles, which sucks considering yesterday was the monthly close. I was really hoping and anticipating closing above 65,000 as the line in the sand, but unfortunately we corrected some and the correction continues, and we do have a target on the daily chart sitting all the way down at 47.7, which needs to be on your radar. And now let's check out the 1 week, which still has that sexy cup and handle pattern sitting all the way at 124,200. So weekly chart looking very bullish. And then zooming out a little further, we'll check out the 1 month. You'll be able to see the 8 months of consecutive trading sideways. Before that, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green consecutive candles climbing up to the heavens for the Godzilla. But let's see where we continue here now that we're in October and Q4 is officially here. And let me know your thoughts regarding some of your price projections. So yeah, let's get into the headlines. We did the technical analysis. Let's discuss Michael Dell, 14th richest man on the planet. Bitcoin curious Mr. Dell sells $1.2 billion worth of Dell stock. What does he see coming down the pipelines? Well, the founder and CEO of the tech firm Dell Technologies sold 10 million shares in his company worth about $1.22 billion in his second big September sale. So this is the second one. September 13th or 30th filing with the US SEC shows Dell offloaded the 10 million shares and still holds 16.91 million shares, worth more than $2 billion at this time. The sale marks Dell's second share dump in a month. Only days earlier, on September 23rd, Dell disclosed that he had sold 10 million shares of his namesake company worth $1.17 billion across 7 transactions between September 19th and the 23rd. Now, Dell Technologies stock price is up 58.5% this year, according to Google Finance. The rise saw it on September 24th rejoin the S&P 500, which tracks the largest 500 public companies in the U.S. The tech firm is riding a wave of interest in AI companies amid the surge in demand for servers that can keep up with the needs of running AI apps. And at this time, you can see the stock trading closer to $119. Crazy. Up 58% now and up 43.75% year to date. And it's unclear why Dell sold such large amounts of the company's stock. Maybe to buy the Bitcoin. Could Michael Dell be Mr. 100? Let me know your thoughts. But traders have yet to react to the sales, with Dell's share price down just 0.33% in after-hours trading September 30th and up 0.75% in the last 5 trading days. Dell sparked online interest back in June with a series of cryptic X posts that raised speculation on whether the founder was exploring Bitcoin either personally or for the business. Y'all remember the infamous post with the cookie monster with the Bitcoin. And then he was reposting Michael Saylor. I covered that here on the stream. Scarcity creates value, Dell posted, a phrase often used by Bitcoiners in reference to Bitcoin's hard cap supply of 21 million coins, which also caught Bitcoin bull and peer tech firm founder Michael Saylor his attention. Dell reposted the MicroStrategy co-founder reply to his post and said, Bitcoin is digital scarcity. He later shared an AI-generated picture of the Sesame Street character, the Cookie Monster, eating Bitcoin-themed cookies. Who doesn't like Bitcoin cookies? Still, despite Dell's crypto posting, Dell Technologies didn't add any Bitcoin to the balance sheet in the second quarter of this year. Its results posted in August showed revenue up 9% year on year, along with the record servers and networking revenue up 80% from the year earlier. Now, what's interesting is obviously they have to disclose it in their financial report. So every quarter we get an update and we can see if Dell Technologies actually put any Bitcoin on the balance sheet. And as of now, there's none to our knowledge. However, that doesn't mean that he, as a billionaire, would have to disclose his personal, Bitcoin holdings. That's personal. It's not a publicly traded company. So let me know how many of you think Michael Dell is a hodler of the King Crypto. Anyways, let's continue and discuss the latest with Trump in the headlines, as always. This headline reads, Donald Trump announces opening the official whitelist for the new DeFi platform, World Liberty Financial. Max Kaiser had something to share here, but let's start with the post from Donald Trump himself yesterday, September 30th. Let's read it. This coming directly from Donald Trump's official X account. He wrote, all bold, I promise to make America great again, this time with crypto. He tags World Liberty Financial as planning to help make America the crypto capital of the world. The whitelist for eligible persons is officially open. This is your chance to be a part of the historic moment. Join. And Max Kaiser's response, total shit show. Hashtag avoid. And Donald, don't send any of your shit coins to El Salvador. Now let's dive deeper. Former President Trump has confirmed the launch of World Liberty Financial, his new decentralized finance platform. Addressing his 91 million followers on X, Trump shared a link to the project's KYC. And as I just shared with you, he wrote, I promise to make America great again, this time with crypto. World Liberty Financial is planning to help make America the crypto capital of the world. The whitelist for eligible persons is officially open. There's your chance to be a part of this historic moment. The sign up for the platform is only available to accredited investors in the U.S. and non-U.S. residents. However, World Liberty says it's not turning its back on regular U.S. investors. Quoting them here, the World Liberty Financial whitelists are now open, backed by Donald J. Trump. We will onboard the next wave of users into the future of finance. And while these whitelists are currently open to accredited investors in the U.S. and all non-U.S. persons, we are not turning our backs on the everyday American. Our mission is to bring financial freedom to everyone, no matter their background or bank balance. Due to the outdated policies and regulations in the U.S., one whitelist is limited to accredited U.S. investors and another for the all non-U.S. persons. We are fighting for changes so that all Americans can access World Liberty Financial and join the financial revolution. We plan for for all Americans to be able to use this platform in the future, giving everyone access to the tools and opportunities that have been restricted for far too long. Earlier this month, Trump family confirmed there would be a token for the platform. Here's what the spokesperson said regarding the project. Therefore, we're planning to sell and otherwise distribute governance tokens called WLFI in the future. WLFI tokens are pure governance tokens, only providing the right to make proposals and vote on matters related to the platform. 63% of these tokens will be sold to the public, 17% will be allocated for user rewards, and 20% are reserved for team compensation. I don't know how I feel about all that. You let me know your thoughts, and do you agree or disagree with Max Kaiser's feedback to Donald Trump? Total shit show, avoid, and Donald, don't send any of your shit coins to El Salvador. Let's continue with the news and discuss the Japanese microstrategy we know as Metaplanet, continuing to stack the biddy. Headline reads, Metaplanet makes yet another Bitcoin acquisition worth $6.9 million. I like it. Japanese investment firm Metaplanet Inc. announced the acquisition of the additional 107 Bitcoin worth approximately $1 billion yen, 6.9 milli. That means if you have 107 Bitcoin, you're a Japanese yen billionaire. Pretty lit, huh? This brings the company's total Bitcoin holdings to 506 BTC, valued at roughly 32 milli, based on today's market value. The Tokyo-listed firm disclosed the latest purchase was made at an average price of 9.26 million yen, worth 64,000 per Bitcoin. With the acquisition, Metaplanet's cumulative investment in Bitcoin now stands at 4.75 billion yen, 32 million USD, with an average cost of 9.37 million yen, which is 64,931 US dollars per BTC. Following this announcement, Google Finance data shows the firm's tech stock rose by 2.12%, trading at 1,012 yen on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Metaplanet began its Bitcoin purchasing strategy in May when it decided to adopt the crypto as a key part of its treasury reserve. The firm since increased its holdings in several large acquisitions, including 38 Bitcoin in September, 42 Bitcoin in July, 20 Bitcoin in May, and roughly 100 BTC in April. Let's go. It also secured a $6.8 million loan this year to support the buying strategy, which was used to boost the Bitcoin reserves. This decision to invest heavily in the asset in response to the ongoing economic instability following the COVID pandemic, Metaplanet had consistently increased its exposure to Bitcoin in response to concerns about inflation and currency devaluation, viewing the digital asset as a potential hedge against such risks. That's right. It's a hedge against inflation, it's a hedge against deflation, and it's an insurance policy all wrapped in one, quoting the great Cathie Wood. Now, Metaplanet's investment strategy has been compared to that of the US-based MicroStrategy, led by the one and only Mikey Saylor. Speaking of Mikey Saylor,
which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one.
I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You hear me? MicroStrategy holds the largest amount of the Bitcoin amongst publicly traded companies, was the first publicly traded company to put the biddy on the balance sheet back in 2020. They currently have 252,220 BTC, according to Bitcoin Treasuries. And Marathon Digital is the second largest corporate holder of 26,200 BTC. So clearly, MicroStrategy leading the pack by far. But guess what? BlackRock, the asset manager, has way more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy, and they just started accumulating the biddies back on January 11th via the Bitcoin ETF. Let that one sink in, yo. Now in September, the Japanese investment firm announced a partnership with SBI Holdings crypto division to improve its Bitcoin trading, storage, and management infrastructure. It also revealed plans to exercise its 11th series of stock acquisition rights, raising virtually 300 million yen to purchase more of the crypto. Now, additionally, it reportedly is exploring the tokenization of the shares of the Bitcoin Layer 2 network Liquid. The company's shares are currently traded on the Tokyo Stock Exchange, which restricts access for U.S. investors. So there you have it, yo. But anyways, next story of the day, let's discuss this $118,000 target. Let me backtrack here. Bitcoin could skyrocket to 118,000 before the end of the year. Q4, let's go. That's right. We have an analyst by the name of Greer who begins by highlighting Bitcoin's strong historical performance in the fourth quarter of the previous years. She pointed out that since 2020, the Bitcoin average Q4 return to its intra-quarter high watermark was approximately 85%. That's right. This figure includes a best case scenario where the return reached a staggering 230% and a worst case scenario with a 12% decline. Bitcoin's average Q4 return since 2020 is 85%. As you find the stronger asymmetry, Greer writes, this statistical asymmetry suggests a significant potential upside compared to the downside, making Q4 historically a period of robust growth for the biddy. Now, a merely average Q4 with a price increase of 85% would mean a year-end price of 118,000, right in alignment with JV's Q4 target. I've been preaching of 125 G's, baby. And if Bitcoin outperforms its record of 230%, Bitcoin could rise well above 200,000 this year. Between now and December, can you say October? Can you say November, the 5th of November? We have election season next month, literally 1 month out, followed by a Santa rally in December. Bring it. Now, notably, Greer believes that the current market is not fully positioned to take advantage of this potential. She attributes this underallocation to two key factors. Firstly, there's an apprehension surrounding the upcoming U.S. presidential election, the November 5th. Secondly, other assets such as gold and China's A shares are attracting significant attention and capital, potentially diverting investments away from the Bitcoin. I don't see how anything China related can divert investments away from Bitcoin, but hey, she's entitled to her opinion, no? Quoting her here, I still don't think the market is allocated accordingly. 2024 is a unique case where some portions of the market is under indexing on the Q4 asymmetry due to A, November 5th U.S. election risks, and or B, the other assets are screaming, gold and China A shares, etc. Greer remarks. Now, to support her assessment of the market's current positioning, Greer cites her interactions with risk managers and noted specific market indicators. She mentioned observing low volatility and contained perpetuated funding, which suggests that traders are not aggressively betting on significant price movement. Beyond those market dynamics, Greer identifies several macroeconomic and industry-specific factors that she believes are creating a broadly very positive backdrop for the Bitcoin. One significant point is the presence of global stimulus measures in major economies, such as the U.S. and China, excluding Japan. Greer also highlights that BNY Mellon, the world's largest custodian bank, just recently received a SAB 121 exemption, which we covered here on the pod. This exemption allows the banks to offer custody services for Bitcoin without the stringent capital requirements that previously made such services less attractive and virtually impossible. Greer describes this development as massive and underappreciated, noting it will loosen financing in our industry substantially. Preach! Bring it. Furthermore, Greer points out that the ETF flows have become very constructive. Over the past few days, Bitcoin inflows reaccelerated massively. Last Friday, net flows were almost $500 million, making it the highest net inflow day of the quarter and the highest net inflow day since June 4th. Another positive indicator is that the Bitcoin miners are entering agreements with hyperscalers, large-scale cloud service providers. These partnerships can enhance the mining efficiency and reduce the operational costs. Greer also mentions that supply overhangs are mostly done, suggesting the large sell-offs could surpass the price are unlikely in the near term. Additionally, she anticipates that demand from FTX cash disaster is around the corner, implying funds distributed from the FTX exchange could find their way to the Bitcoin investments, further boosting demand. Bottom line, she's bullish. I want to know if you're as bullish as her. Can you see 85% average return Q4 in the Bitcoin market, taking us to 118,000. Can you see the more bullish scenario in which she outlines? The percentage again was, if we were to rise, I think it is 230%. That would take us literally above $200,000 per coin here in Q4. Let me know your thoughts, family. I'll read them out loud before we dive into our feature story of the day, and let's motherfucking go. Greg says, my Bitcoin end of the year target is based on harmonic trading patterns, very solid predictive model. This is the 1.236 from November. Low sits at 106. Anything above that could be gravy. Well, let's join the gravy train. My end of the year target is based on my astral projections, accessing the Akashic records. There you go. Nothing to do with technical. For me, it's intuition. I'm not basing it off any chart. It's just my intuition tells me something. That's it. That's how I operate. I'm old school. Now for our feature story of the day. Quantile Regression Bitcoin price model hints at 275,000 per Bitcoin by November 2025. In fact, the Bitcoin price action can go as high as $300,000. According to this model, next year, as far as the cycle peak, let's break this baby down. Welcome everyone joining the live stream. So yeah, after dropping 3.5% on September 30th, Bitcoin missed out on the monthly bullish engulfing candle for the first time since January of 2023. Still, a year-long bull flag remains in play for the Bitcoin bulls, which will undergo a bullish breakout once Bitcoin closes above 70,000 on the monthly chart, which will take us right into price discovery territory. Now for the bullish projection. Bitcoin cycle top could be 275,000 by November of 2025, meaning 1 year out. According to the researcher, Smith & With, a Bitcoin researcher, presented a new approach to predict Bitcoin cycle top price using a quantile regression model. Let me know if you've ever heard of this term. I've never heard of this particular model, but we're going to dive into it. So in the post, which explains that quantile regression prioritizes all cumulative Bitcoin data to present quantiles or percentiles, which can be used to study Bitcoin returns over a period of time. The cumulative data taken into consideration is supply, volatility, distribution over time, and survivability in any risk environment. Unlike traditional linear regression, quantile regression represents a deeper insight into the potential outcome by concentrating on extremes, the 99th percentile in this case, according to the researcher. And here are the charts in which he had to share. It shows you the 99th percentile regression model on the top and their November 1st, 2025 99% percentile price predictions on the bottom have been done between July 2013 up till today, going from pink to yellow as outlined in the chart, and you can see the figure we get, $274,938. So what adds to the current projection is a simulation of the 99th percentile power law regression model. We have covered the power law model a few times here, which is drawn by using the Bitcoin price data dating back to July of 2013. Here's what the researcher shared. You can see that the model trajectory and November 1st, 2025 price prediction changes dramatically. Performing the modeling in 2013 is bright pink, most recently yellow, but is clearly forms a quasi-exponential decay trend. The quasi-exponential decay trend, some very interesting choice of words here, means that the period of deviation from the actual trend has either halved or doubled over time. In essence, with predicts that the cycle top will be around November of 2025. It's pretty cool. With a price target of as high as 275 G's, baby. Let me know if you agree. Additionally, the above study can be refined if these deviations can be channeled through a decay period and evaluated for multiple percentiles, and as with expects further analysis to eventually confirm a cycle top value between, here's the range, $250,000 to $300,000 in 2025, right in alignment with JV's cycle peak prediction for 2025, ranging from 222,000 all the way up to 750,000 per coin. Let me know if you agree or disagree with this particular price projection and this particular model. Can you see the Bitcoin price rising anywhere from $250,000 to $300,000 per coin for this cycle peak in 2025? Holla at your boy, and I'll read your comments out loud. Welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream. Ghetto says, if you position your hand slightly above your head so it drops, you'll fall asleep. That's an easy way to astral project. I have the video of the recording when I woke up on my other channel. Right on. It's cool that you figured out a technique that works for yourself. There's many techniques one can use to separate their astral body from their physical body. The only moo dung I found on Google is the hippopotamus. Hippopotamus, eh? Let me know your thoughts regarding some of these predictions, and welcome everyone just joining the stream. We got 700 people here, live and in the flesh.
Criminals, the largest corporate fine at the time. Criminals, $13 billion.
13 billion. Would it be Jamie Dimon, Jamie Demon, Jamie the Tapeworm? 275 would be the stuff of dreams, life-changing. I just made an awesome sale. Congratulations, short coin. What are you selling? Hey, sing along now.
I was sitting on the fence post, slapping on my left knee,
Chewing on my bubble gum, huddle, 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 playing with my yo-yo. Do-wop, 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 do-wop.